Hi, I'm Meadow Linn. I'm the author of the Mystic Cookbook put out by Hay House Publishing, and I also write the blog Savor the Day. Do you have sugar cravings, that insatiable urge to eat something sweet, often, at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon? If so, you are not alone. Believe it or not, sugar is actually pretty darn addictive. And so if you do crave sugar, know that there are others with you in this boat, but it does not have to be that way. There are things that you can do to change, to curb those sugar cravings, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first I want to talk about how sugar is so addictive. Sugar releases serotonin in your brain, and that's this feel-good drug that floods our body. And so you eat sugar and you feel good. So guess what? It makes you want more. And it also gets all those brain receptors going, and it fills up with this dopamine. That's that relaxing feeling that floods our body. So we want those feelings. So then we continue to eat more and more sugar. And in studies, they did a study at Connecticut College in 2013 where they gave lab rats a whole bunch of Oreos. And guess what? Those rats loved the Oreos. Those Oreos became as addictive to those rats as cocaine, if you can believe it. The Oreos were so tasty to those rats that they couldn't stop eating them, and they actually had the same results as they had with cocaine on the lab rats. And in another study at Princeton University, they gave lab rats sugar water, and they were allowed to binge on that sugar water. So you know how we do that too with Halloween candy, binge. Well, they let the lab rats binge on the sugar water. And afterwards, they got the shakes and anxiety. So if you've ever had that feeling where you feel as though you really have to have more sugar because it'll help you with that anxiety, with the shakes, it'll calm you down. That's the dopamine. That's that feel-good drug, the serotonin. So it's chemical in your body. There's all these forces at play. And that, of course, doesn't take away responsibility, but do know that there are a number of reasons why you may be having difficulty curbing your sugar cravings. But today I'm going to give you in random order, 10 of my top ways to curb your sugar cravings. And I actually have even more, which I will be going into in more depth in an online program that I'll be leading in January. But I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. So the first, and once again, these are in random order, but one of the great first ways that you can start to curb your sugar cravings, and it's very simple: drink water. I know it seems so simple, seems ridiculous, like why is this even on a list? But many of us are dehydrated and we don't even know it. And when you think you're hungry, you're actually thirsty. And when you're craving that little bit of energy boost, it might just be that you're thirsty. So drink water. Instead of instantly grabbing for those Oreos or Hershey's Kisses or whatever your drug, quote unquote, drug of pleasure is, first drink water. Also, the great thing about water is that it fills you up. And then you actually feel less hungry because you're more sated, you're fuller. So first thing, I know it's super simple, but give it a try. Anytime you crave sugar, first have a glass of water. Number 2, once again, random order. Number 2, avoid processed foods. I know it seems strange, but believe it or not, many processed foods are very high in sugar. They're also quite high in sodium as well, but today we're focusing on sugar. Processed foods are high in sugar. Pasta sauce, for instance, seems like tomatoes. It's an entree, it's savory food. However, there is a lot of sugar added to a lot of jarred pasta sauces. Many other processed foods, frozen foods, microwave foods, full of sugar. A lot of low-fat products, low-fat peanut butter, you know how they replace the fat? With sugar. So avoid processed foods. So that will help curb your sugar cravings because you actually won't be eating as much sugar. The more you eat, the more you want. And this is not just straight up white sugar. Many carbohydrates, well, all carbohydrates, but especially the single carbohydrates, the white pastas and breads and things, all of that breaks down into sugar in our bodies. So primarily we're talking about the white sugar that's in sodas and candies and other treats. However, it's also in all of those other carbohydrates that we eat. And it doesn't mean that all carbohydrates are bad. It's great to eat a balanced meal. However, do be conscious of where your sugar intake is coming from. Number 3, eat fermented foods, cultured vegetables, sauerkraut, kimchi, excuse me, many other. Now you can go to the grocery store and find cultured asparagus and carrots, or you can make your own. This is a great way to start to curb your sugar cravings. This is because we get all that yeast in our belly, in our gut, and it's like, feed me sugar, feed me sugar. And the more they say, feed me sugar, the more we eat. And then the more they grow and proliferate. And they're like, feed me sugar, more sugar, more sugar. I used to teach elementary school, and that's what the kids would do, especially around holidays like Valentine's and Halloween. So by eating fermented foods, you actually begin to grow the healthy gut flora in your intestines. And then they'll no longer be saying, feed me sugar. They'll be saying, I'm feeling happy and good, and I'm strong and healthy. So fermented foods, I know that sounds kind of fermented. So you can think of them as cultured foods. Kimchi, sauerkraut, and now you can find many other types of cultured vegetables at even some traditional grocery stores, but definitely Whole Foods Market, health food stores, even the farmers markets now, or you can make your own, and it's really easy and fun to do. But that's for another day, another video. Another great thing to do is, so this is number 4, drink apple cider vinegar. Okay, I'm not suggesting take the whole, that would be pretty disgusting. No, just in the morning, add a teaspoon to start. You can work up to even a tablespoon. Mix it in your water. And I do recommend having a full glass of water first thing when you wake up, before your coffee, before your tea. Full glass of water helps hydrate you. Also, having the apple cider vinegar alkalizes your system. Additionally, and that's why I mention it today, the more you add sour into your diet, the more your taste buds will acclimate to sour and crave less sweet. So there are many reasons for having a teaspoon to a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in the morning, some of which I've mentioned, some are for another day. But for today, we are focusing on the sour aspect of it. And the liquid from the cultured vegetables as well will do the same thing as make sure it's raw apple cider vinegar. And that will help start to change your taste buds to crave other things besides sugar. Number 5, keep your blood sugar stable. What does that mean? Blood sugar sounds like we should have more sugar, right? Blood sugar is that, it goes up and down. You get the height, the peaks and the valleys, and that's often why we start to eat more sugar, more simple carbohydrates, things that break down into sugar, because it gives us that rush, as we talked about in the beginning, that serotonin, that feel good, whoa, it gives you that quick, fast energy, but it also gives you a quick, fast plunge. So when you keep your blood sugar stable, that means to eat at regular intervals. Don't skip meals. Eat at regular intervals. Make sure you're getting enough food. Fill yourself up with good quality products. Really, quality makes a big difference. So get, good leafy greens, or, whole grains, or, good lean proteins. But make sure you really satisfy yourself and eat periodically. When you need a mid-afternoon snack, grab a few raw nuts or some cut vegetables with some delicious dips. And I've got some great recipes for dips on my website. So make sure you keep your blood sugar stable. It's when we go through those peaks and valleys that we begin to crave more sugar, because we really want that quick, fast energy, that quick pleasure. Number 6. Sorry, I'm looking down. I do have a couple notes to remind me. So number 6, when that sugar craving sets in, This seems simple enough, but it's not always easy to remember. Do something else. So when you're like, oh, I really need a Coke, I really need my gummy bears, instead of sitting around, and then the more you sit there, the more you think, gummy bears, gummy bears, gummy bears, Coke, 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 right? Because you're thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. Go do something else. Do something that supports you in your journey towards health and wellness. Go for a walk. Do some yoga, do some stretching, meditate. Maybe if you're a musician, grab your flute, play some flute music, play the piano, paint something. If you're like me and you love cooking and that's how you express your artistry, cook something, but make sure it's something healthy that supports you in your journey. Drink water. Whatever it is, when that craving sets in, do something else. You know, with little children, how we sometimes will divert their attention. They're at the grocery store and they're like, I want, mom, I want this. And we say, hey, honey, look over there. Isn't that interesting? You know, you divert their attention. I have heard that maybe that's not the best parenting method. However, it works. And it can work for yourself too. You're like, oh, I really want that candy or soda or whatever it is. Instead, I'm going to go for a walk. And then when you come back, if you're still like, Coke, 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 I need it. Well, then allow yourself to have some, but maybe give yourself half of what you normally would. Cutting down is a great way to, this isn't one of our numbered top 10 for today, but this is another great tip. Rather than depriving yourself, because often when we feel deprived, then we want more because we're feeling so restricted. Rather than depriving yourself, allow yourself some treats, but maybe less than you would. Or rather than having a whole Hershey's bar, get a very small piece of really high quality chocolate that will satisfy the same craving, but you'll be eating less and getting higher quality products. And you know, a really good chocolate, dark chocolate, actually has some good things in it for you too. Best news ever. So that was number 6. When craving something, divert your attention. Do something else. Go for a walk, yoga, meditate, play the piano, paint, whatever it is. Call a friend. Number 7, reduce stress. When we are stressed, we begin to crave the foods that will give us that quick sense of pleasure, that quick energy. But as we know, then we have the quick plummet as well. So reduce your stress. There are many ways to do this. First, and this is important for all aspects of your health, get enough sleep. Everybody has different sleep needs. You know, they'll say, you must get 8 hours. That's not true for everybody. Some people will do well on a little bit less. Some people will do well on a little bit more. But do find what your body needs and make sure you are getting that amount of sleep every single night, even if it means cutting other things out of your life. Because when you are rested, you prevent your body from getting many diseases. You feel more joyful. You have more energy. Like everything in your life that could be good is usually better when you get enough sleep. So to curb your sugar cravings, reduce stress, one of the best ways to do that, get enough sleep. Also, start meditating, do yoga, go with it. You know, go for a morning walk, whatever it is for you that will reduce your stress. Cut down your to-do list. Find what is essential and do that and cut out the rest. Whatever works for you to reduce stress, and that will help curb your sugar cravings. And the wind is blowing my list a little bit. Number 8, eat filling, satisfying meals. And we talked a little bit about this with number 5, with keeping your blood sugar stable. But the more satisfied you are with your meals, the less you will get that 4 o'clock hunger. I need that sugar, that quick energy. If you are constantly eating at regular meal intervals and you are satisfied, you're not going to crave sugar as much. And I have other videos where I'll tell you good recipes for healthy eating that will keep you satisfied. Also in the online program that I mentioned, and I will talk more about at the end of this video, you will find out more about recipes and how to shop and how to find satisfying, healthy meals that make you feel good emotionally and physically and will not leave you craving more. Because, so often you eat healthy and then you're like, well, now where's my meal, right? These will be healthy meals that make you so satisfied. So your taste buds will be dancing and you will have so much more energy because you'll be eating well and you won't be craving so much sugar. Number 9, change your belief system. If you've craved sugar in the past, it does not mean that you will crave it in the future. You can change. What was so yesterday, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, what was so 10 minutes ago does not need to be so now. You can decide right now, today, that you are going to start this process of cutting down on sugar, curbing those cravings. And if you make that choice, you can and will do it. Here's an interesting tidbit about that. Recently, in the Journal of Consumer Research, it was reported a study that was done, I believe it was at a university, with 120 participants. And half of them, they asked to repeat, I can't, whatever it is, I can't eat X. And the other half to repeat, I don't eat X, Y, and Z. And they answered a number of questions. And the participants thought that was the end of the trial. However, the real part of the trial came later. As they were leaving, they handed in their forms, and they were offered a chocolate bar or a granola bar. Those who had been, throughout the study, saying, I can't, 61% of them chose the chocolate bar. Can't feels restricted. It feels like it's being imposed on you. Those who had been instructed to say, I don't, which is empowering. That is a choice that you are making. Those who said, I don't, 36% of them chose the chocolate bar, and the others chose the granola bar, which was much healthier. So, change your belief system. Rather than feeling restricted or somebody's telling you you can't do this, or that I'm telling you you can't do this. This is a choice that you are making. And consider making that simple switch from I can't eat sugar to I don't eat sugar. And not all sugar is bad. I love making treats. I love enjoying them from time to time. We're talking about cutting down that vicious cycle of where it's like sugar, 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 sugar all the time. So simply switch your wording, I can't to I don't, and change your belief system. You can and will make change in your life if you choose to do so. And number 10, do a cleanse. Reset your body. It's great to go through this whole list, drink water, reduce stress, but sometimes that is not enough. Sometimes you need that thing that shakes your body, resets your taste buds, so that you can move forward with fewer cravings. By doing a cleanse, that can be a few days, a week, 10 days, some people do them even longer for a month or two, where you remove a number of allergens or irritants or things that are probably less than good, healthy for your body. You remove those from your diet and you eat things that really serve your body for that period of time. And actually it will reset your taste buds. So I'm leading a cleanse in middle of January 22nd to 31st, and it would be such a joy to have you join me. It is called New Year, New You Total Reset. So you will be resetting your body. An amazing thing, the most remarkable thing, after this 10 days of not eating sugar, but also will be avoiding gluten and dairy, alcohol, and caffeine, you will be resetting your taste buds, and it will be so amazing. You'll see the world in new ways. A blueberry or a carrot that tastes, kind of sweet. After not eating sugar and cutting down on many simple carbohydrates, that blueberry, that carrot will taste so sweet and so delicious and fragrant and flavorful. The other great thing about doing a cleanse in a group like this is you have support, you have community. There are others there doing it with you. And that is a great way to have that rah-rah cheering going on, because this is not easy. As we talked about in the beginning, our brains are hardwired to want that good feeling when our serotonin levels are like, wah, they're uplifted. It's that feel good drug that sugar gives us, and the dopamine that makes us feel relaxed. So doing something like this, a cleanse in community, it's kind of like going cold turkey, and then afterwards, whether or not you decide to reintroduce it to your diet or eat smaller amounts, it's a lot easier actually after you've kind of gone cold turkey and knocked it out of your diet for 10 days. So it would be such a joy to have you join me for New Year, New You, Total Reset, January 22nd to 31st. I think I got the dates right. And there is information on how to sign up attached to this video, and I would love to see you there. And I look forward to hearing about your journey on curbing your sugar cravings, and I look forward to being a part of that journey. I'm sending you lots of love, and I am wishing you a delicious, delicious, joyful day. Mwah!